Welcome back to Skyjet Wings. Right now, far above the frozen skies of Scandinavia, Sweden is quietly working on something that could shake the future of air warfare. This is not just another fighter jet story. This is the story of a country that most people connect with IKEA, peaceful cities, and meatballs. But behind the scenes, Sweden is building a next-generation fighter program that is getting serious attention from defense experts around the world. While China is showing off its J-36, America is debating the future of NGAD, and other nations are struggling with cost, delays, and politics, Sweden is moving in silence. No loud announcements, no endless hype, no dramatic promises, just steady progress, smart engineering, and a clear mission. This secretive program, often linked with Flygsystem 2020, could become one of the most important fighter projects in Europe. And the shocking part is this: Sweden is not a huge military superpower. Its population is smaller than Los Angeles County. Yet this small nation has a long history of building aircraft that are simple, deadly, reliable, and built for real war conditions. Their current fighter, the Saab Gripen, proved that Sweden knows how to punch far above its weight. It is fast, affordable, easy to maintain, and trusted by countries like Brazil, Hungary, Thailand, and the Czech Republic. Now imagine what happens when the same country takes that experience and builds a sixth-generation fighter for the battles of tomorrow. A jet designed for stealth, speed, electronic warfare, artificial intelligence, drone teamwork, and survival in the harsh skies of Northern Europe. This is why defense analysts are watching closely. Sweden may not be shouting, but it is preparing. And sometimes the most dangerous machine is not the one everyone is talking about. It is the one being built quietly in the shadows. So stay with me until the end, because what Sweden is planning could change how we see the future of NATO air power forever. And if you are proud to see smaller nations stepping up their defense game, type Sweden win in the comments below.
They all fly Swedish iron, and that matters because the Gripen is not just another fighter jet, it is built for survival. It can take off from highways, land on rough roads, work with a small ground crew, and return to the sky faster than many bigger and more expensive jets. Sweden learned a powerful lesson long ago. You do not always need the biggest machine to win. You need the smartest one. But now, Sweden is moving beyond the Gripen. Flygsystem 2020 is not just about saving money or building an efficient aircraft. This time, Sweden is aiming for something much bigger: control of the future battlefield. After joining NATO in 2024, Sweden suddenly became a key player on Europe's northern front line. The threat from Russia is closer, the Arctic is becoming more important, and the Swedish Air Force knows one thing clearly: even the Gripen, as powerful as it is, may not be enough for the wars of the 2040s and beyond. So Sweden is preparing a fighter that could be faster, smarter, stealthier, and more dangerous than anything it has built before. Saab has already received major funding to push this program forward, and this is not just a dream on paper. Sweden wants design work, a future demonstrator, and a real path toward a sixth-generation aircraft. While America's NGAD program faces cost pressure and debate, and while other European projects move slowly, Sweden is quietly taking serious steps. And here is where things get really interesting. A sixth-generation fighter is not just a jet with a new shape. It is a flying brain, a stealth machine, and a command center in the sky. First comes stealth. Not ordinary stealth, but advanced stealth designed to hide from radar, heat-seeking missiles, and even future detection systems. Then comes artificial intelligence. This aircraft will not simply help the pilot fly. It could help the pilot think faster, see the battlefield more clearly, choose the best attack plan, manage weapons, and control drones in real time. Imagine one pilot sitting inside a silent Swedish fighter while AI studies enemy radar, tracks missiles, talks to friendly aircraft, and commands loyal Wingman drones around him. That is not science fiction anymore. That is the future Sweden is trying to build. And if they succeed, the small nation known for peace, design, and discipline may soon become one of the most surprising powers in next-generation air combat.
The AI inside this future fighter will be more than just a computer. It will act like a second pilot, one that never gets tired, never panics, and never misses a detail. While the human pilot focuses on the mission, the AI will scan the battlefield, study threats, track enemy aircraft, control weapons, and make decisions faster than any human brain can. But this is where the story becomes even more dangerous. The real game changer is manned and unmanned teaming, also known as loyal wingman technology. Imagine a Swedish pilot flying over the cold Baltic Sea, not alone, but with 3 or 4 advanced combat drones moving around him like silent hunters. These drones can fly ahead to find enemy radar, confuse air defenses, launch missiles, jam enemy signals, or even take the hit to protect the main fighter. The pilot stays safer while the drones take the biggest risks. It is like a deadly chess game in the sky, but the pawns can fly at extreme speed and carry real weapons. And before we go deeper, take 1 second to like this video and subscribe to Skyjet Wings, because most viewers watch without subscribing, and your support helps us bring more powerful aviation stories like this. Now, the drones being designed for this system are not simple remote-controlled aircraft. They are expected to be sleek, fast, and smart unmanned platforms built with shared technology from the future fighter and the Gripen E. That means lower cost, faster development, and easier maintenance. A technician who already understands Gripen systems could work on these new drones without starting from zero. That is classic Swedish thinking: simple, smart, and deadly effective. But Sweden is not trying to copy America or China. It is building something different, something made for its own battlefield. Early design ideas show a single-engine aircraft with a special wing layout, possibly with a smaller front wing and a larger main wing. This kind of design can help the aircraft stay stable, turn sharply, fly slower when needed, and operate from shorter runways. And that matters because Sweden's war plan has always been different. If war comes, Swedish fighters will not sit together at big airbases waiting to be destroyed by missiles. They will spread out across highways, forest roads, hidden strips, and small prepared locations. The Gripen was built for this style of survival, and Flygsystem 2020 may take that idea even further. You cannot easily destroy an air force if it disappears into the forests and roads of Sweden. The aircraft itself is expected to use a smooth, blended wing body, where the wings and fuselage flow together without sharp separation. This is not only for beauty, it helps reduce radar detection. Enemy radar waves hit the aircraft and scatter away instead of bouncing straight back. Add advanced radar-absorbing materials, lower heat signature, and a stealth-focused shape, and suddenly this Swedish fighter becomes extremely hard to find. Even the tail design may be built for stealth and control, giving the aircraft strong maneuverability while reducing drag. And that is what makes this project so serious. Sweden is not just building another jet. It is building a hidden, intelligent, drone-commanding predator for the wars of the future. Every part of this Swedish fighter is being designed with a purpose. Nothing is random. Every curve, every wing, every system must help the aircraft become faster, harder to detect, cheaper to maintain, and easier to keep ready for war. Saab's advanced team believes Sweden is in a stronger position than ever before to build a new fighter because they already have experienced engineers from the Gripen E and GlobalEye programs. They also have powerful digital tools that can test designs on computers before spending huge money on physical prototypes. This is the Swedish way: smart, controlled, and highly practical. Just like the Gripen E, many parts may come from trusted international partners, but Saab keeps the brain of the project in Swedish hands. That means Sweden can use world-class technology without losing control of its own defense future. No outside country can easily block them, delay them, or control how they use their aircraft. But here is the real twist. Sweden is not only building a fighter jet, it is building a full combat system. The manned fighter will be only one part of a much bigger war network. Around it will be loyal wingman drones, surveillance drones, electronic warfare aircraft, missiles, satellites, naval ships, ground stations, and NATO-linked command systems. Everything will share information in real time. The pilot will no longer be just a person flying a jet. He will become a commander in the sky, controlling aircraft, drones, sensors, and weapons across the battlefield.
Imagine one Swedish fighter entering dangerous airspace with 3 drones ahead of it. One drone searches for enemy radar, another jams enemy signals, a third prepares to launch missiles. The AI handles the pressure, sorts the data, and gives the pilot the clearest options. But the final decision still stays with the human. This is what makes the system so powerful. One fighter with multiple drones could do the work of several traditional jets, while risking only one pilot. If a drone is lost, Sweden does not lose a highly trained aviator or an extremely expensive aircraft. And the smartest part is shared technology. The future fighter, the drones, and even the Gripen E may use similar systems, weapons, engines, or digital interfaces. That means pilots and technicians will not have to start from zero. Training becomes faster, maintenance becomes easier, war readiness becomes stronger. Sweden is also moving towards autonomous flight testing, working with defense AI companies like Helsing to prepare drones that can fly missions with limited human control. This is not just preparation for one aircraft. This is preparation for a new way of fighting. And that should worry any enemy watching the Nordic skies, because Sweden is not trying to build the biggest air force. It is trying to build the smartest one. And in the wars of the future, the smartest force may be the most dangerous of all. Now, let's zoom out and understand why this Swedish fighter could matter far beyond Sweden. Sweden is now officially part of NATO, standing shoulder to shoulder with America and other powerful allies, and this changes everything. The Baltic Sea has become one of the most dangerous and tense regions in the world, with Russia on one side and NATO on the other. Sweden's location is no longer just important, it is strategic. Whoever controls the skies over Scandinavia and the Baltic region could control the future battlefield. And this is where Flygsystem 2020 becomes so important. If this aircraft enters service in the 2030s, Sweden could have one of the most advanced fighters in the entire region, possibly even stronger than the F-35 in some special missions. And here is the shocking part. This Swedish fighter may not only protect Sweden, it could become a solution for many NATO countries. America's 6th-generation NGAD program is extremely expensive, and many smaller NATO nations simply cannot afford to build their own future fighter. But if Sweden succeeds, countries like Finland, Norway, Poland, and the Baltic states may look at this aircraft as the perfect choice, a fighter built for cold weather, short runways, highway operations, and fast response against Russian threats. Just like the Gripen became a smart export success, Flygsystem 2020 could become Sweden's next big defense breakthrough. But let's be honest, this road will not be easy. Building a 6th-generation fighter is one of the hardest challenges in military aviation. Even the United States is struggling with cost, technology, and delays. Stealth materials are expensive. AI systems take years to perfect. Loyal Wingman drones must work safely in real combat, and the full program will cost billions. Sweden is serious, but nothing is guaranteed. There can be delays, budget pressure, technical problems, or even a major change in strategy before the final decision in 2030. But one thing is clear, Sweden is not just dreaming. They are investing real money, testing designs, building partnerships, developing software, and moving step by step toward the future. This is not a fantasy aircraft drawn for attention. This is a real attempt by a small nation to enter the biggest race in modern air power. And that is what makes this story so powerful. Sweden may not have the biggest military in the world, but it has intelligence, discipline, and a history of building aircraft that survive when others fail. The frozen skies of Scandinavia are about to become much more interesting. Sweden is building the future quietly, one milestone at a time, and the world should be watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe to Skyjet Wings, and stay with us, because the next few years could decide whether Sweden becomes one of the most surprising powers in 6th-generation air combat.